In this video, we're going to be going over literally if you should live in Lehi or in Saratoga. I have a lot of clients who are on the edge of if they want to live in Lehi, which is the main hub right next to the I-15, or if they want to live in Saratoga and save a buck or two. Hi, my name is Jenny, and I have been in real estate for over 9 years. And if you are interested in knowing how to move, and when's the best location, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and click the link to get in touch with me. I have been in real estate for 9 years, and I have been helping people who are ready to move, whether it's in 9 days or in 9 months. So make sure you stay till the end of this video because I'm going to give you the best locations and the best tips for making the best decision for your family. Let's get into it. So in Lehi, there's multiple different areas to live. We're on the Alpine Highland Highway, and I grew up in this area, guys. I've literally watched this whole place just explode. You've got hotels, you've got businesses, you've got tons of conveniences local in Lehi. An interesting fact though is you don't have a Walmart in Lehi. So a lot of your conveniences, you do have to go to the neighborhood city, which is American Fork, which is a lot of times only 10 minutes away from a lot of people in Lehi. So Lehi has 90,000 residents. It has exploded within the last 5 years because of the amount of businesses that have come in here. You also have the Thanksgiving Point that's just down there, which has a business park, and it has the transit system, which we're going to drive by to show you. In Lehi, I would say there's about 3 different locations that you can live in Lehi. There's one that is the north side of the Alpine Highway. There's one that is the south side of Alpine Highway, but then you can also live on the west side of I-15, which is over by Thanksgiving Point. Each of the locations are going to have very different demographics on the populations, on the demographics of weather. Lehi has also been known for a lot of their wind. Back in the day, nobody wanted to live in Lehi because you get the wind from the point of the mountain, and it still stands to this day. So if you live on what is called the Traverse Mountain area, be expected to get a lot more wind, but the views are absolutely incredible. We are headed over to the high school, which is one of Utah's highest ranking high schools in Utah, as I can say that right, and it's called Skyridge High School. So I'm going to drive by, show you that area, give you a little glimpse of what it looks like in a drone aerial area, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the activities we can do in Lehi. We are at Skyridge High, and here the ratio is 27:1 to students. This is a larger school known for their sports and recreation. If you're going to be living in Lehi, making sure you know that your children are going to have more students in the schools with them, but the school's very large. You have a lot of very wealthy families around here because the cost of living in Lehi is actually 10% higher than the rest of Utah. So let's go ahead and check out the neighborhoods, and you tell me if you want to have your kids go to Skyridge. Now we're going to be going over the other side of the I-15, which is still Lehi, but I like to call it more of the business-oriented area. You've got Thanksgiving Point over there. Thanksgiving Point has a ton of museums. They have the Butterfly Museum, the Dinosaur Museum, the Gardens. They have the Children's Museum. They have the Petting Zoo. They have the Megaplex. They have also a lot of different restaurants because there's a lot of businesses over there. The traffic can get pretty heavy over on this side as well. There's also the golfing range. I forgot to mention that one. But we're going to drive over to show you the front runner and the transit system that begins here and can go all the way up to Salt Lake City, which is why Lehi is so convenient for those who want to have a commuter space. The reason why most people choose Lehi over Saratoga Springs is because it's close to the I-15 and you're still getting the conveniences of friendly family areas. So Lehi has over 68 family parks covering over 250 acres of fun family living, whether it's a park or it has a playground or has a soccer field. You're going to have a lot of tight-knit communities up here that you can be a part of their Facebook groups. In where we just left is more of the luxurious living. You got the $1 million range, you've got the views, you've got the high school over there. They have the one splash pad over on that side. But now on this side is more an affordable living, and we're going to drive through some neighborhoods, but I also want to stop by, show you this business park, and tell you about some up-and-coming new spaces happening here in Lehi. Okay, so there's some new downtown development happening here in Lehi. Lehi is literally always growing. You can always find business park space to rent out in the tons of buildings. We're driving past the Family Research Center owned by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, known for a lot of family history. This is Lehi Thanksgiving Point Golfing Center. If I keep going straight, I'll jump into the museums, which I mentioned, and Ashton Gardens, which are absolutely incredible. A couple of up-and-coming growing businesses coming in here are the transportation and road improvement. Literally, the infrastructure in Lehi is needing so much more space. A couple years ago, they got 3 different entrances to the I-15 because it got so crowded over here in all of these business parks, having only one entrance to the I-15. Definitely building a lot more infrastructure in your roads, which is going to cause some construction though. Here's the UTA front runner and transit system. If you want to be a part of this membership wise, there are a ton of people who park here and have jobs down in Salt Lake City. You can get right here on the front runner and go all the way up north past Salt Lake City. There has also been talk about getting the front runner to go all the way down to Provo City, which has been included in my other videos. Click the link above. Top things in Utah. In the transit city, this literally is telling you that Lehi is a massive business city. Let's go check it out. There's also 160 restaurants in the Lehi area. Ranges from Mexican to Asian to Vietnamese, you name it. Lehi's got all the restaurants between ma and pa and franchises. Right now we're in the underground tunnel to get into the front runner and the track system. So one of the best pros of living in Lehi is definitely their restaurants and their transit systems. So if you want to become a member of the front runner and the transit system, it's going to cost you in a range between $50 to $170 per month. So there's actually annual passes and monthly passes you can get from the front runner and the track system. It's going to save you a lot of money in gas because how much time it would take to get from here to Salt Lake City is 45 minutes. You add rush hour, it could actually take you up to 90 minutes, if not longer if you're in the North Salt Lake area. So this is definitely a purpose and opportunity to save money in gas and just park in the parking lot and then come home. Literally within walking distance of the Primary Children's Hospital, you have the single family home. This style of home is actually becoming very popular in Utah because people like their single family homes. To me, it's the same size as a townhouse. You don't get a backyard and you do have a garage. A type of home like this is going to cost upwards to $400,000 to $500,000, but it is a single family house, which is what people like here in Utah. So here are some of the larger single family homes in Utah. A home like this is definitely going to cost you upwards of $600,000. Again, you're only within walking to Primary Children's Hospital. You are within 10 minutes of the transit system. You are within 10 to 15 minutes between Walmart and Costco. If you live here, you're shopping in Saratoga Springs though. So a lot of back and forth between Lehi, American Fork, and Saratoga, which is why people try to decide what is the best city they should live in. Now let's head over to Saratoga Springs to determine what you should do and where you should live, if it should be Lehi or Saratoga. So Lehi houses more restaurants than Saratoga, but Saratoga literally is exploding with restaurants. We're driving past a ton of new restaurants. You've got ice cream, you've got the sushi, you've got American, you've got the Mexican, we even have the Peruvian up here. But really, you have all the conveniences that you would want out here in Saratoga. Biggest hiccup with living in Saratoga is you are 10 minutes away from the I-15. There is no transit system in Saratoga. There are no large businesses like there are in Lehi. So it depends on the lifestyle that you want to be living, but you definitely have all the conveniences here. We are at Lehi High School in Saratoga Springs, where you literally have an 8 out of 10 ranking school, which is the same as in Lehi. Your student to teacher ratio is 28 versus the 26 in Lehi though. Lehi High School is definitely still known for their sports and their academics, being a very good school, still have a high population of students as well. There are a lot of neighborhood parks right around the high school, so you're going to have a lot of your Saratoga splash days for celebrating the city right around this area with the fireworks, lots of fun, carnival things. Very good high school for your students. We are literally surrounded, I don't know if you can see, but turn around here so you can see this. This high school is also very much surrounded by a lot of farmers and farmland. Just across the way, we will show you that there is the temple in Saratoga Springs as well. Now here's the thing. Saratoga Springs is called Saratoga Springs because of the springs. There's a lot of wetland that has been generated, can't be built on. So you want to make sure when you're finding a home here that it's actually in a good place that's not designated wetland. You're going to have a lot of water insurance, what would you call it? Flood insurance in this area as well. But again, for children, you're going to have a lot of karate, a lot of fun activities, a lot of good family-oriented things to do here in Saratoga Springs. Now let's jump over to the neighborhoods, and I'm going to tell you how much it's going to cost to live in this city. Some of the type of the communities that they're building over here in Saratoga Springs. Granted, again, people love their single family houses. This is what is called a shared driveway. You have 4 houses sharing one driveway. Literally, you're in the urban areas. Saratoga Springs used to be called a rural city where you could actually get loans which cover all of your closing costs for you. But just last year it got changed because there's 58,000 people here now. But they do have a lot of smaller communities coming in with these single family homes that have these shared driveways. house. A house like this is going to cost you over $500,000. If you want to buy a townhouse, which literally is just a street over from this, it's going to be about $450,000. The reason why Saratoga Springs has a lot more parks than Lehi is because there's a lot more of these new build communities because it is a newer up and coming city. So is Lehi in my mind within 5 years, but within just the last 3 years, Saratoga Springs has literally almost doubled their housing build, which means there's still a lot of new build coming in here. But because they have more parks, it's because they have a lot of more of these smaller HOA areas, and they all have cute little parks that are in the middle. You're definitely going to have a lot of younger families out here because the price and cost of living out here in Saratoga Springs is about $4,000 less than in Lehi. A single person living in Saratoga Springs needs to make $57,000 annually. A family needs to make $104,000. That is still 10% above the Utah average of cost of living, and it is 17.5% above the average cost of living nationally. So between Saratoga and Lehi, they are still above the average cost of living. So would you call it rural? I don't know, you tell me. But you're definitely getting more of a family-oriented level of young children and young families coming out here because your price per square footage and what you're getting out here, you get more house for your buck than you would in Lehi because Lehi is closer to I-15, which makes it the more expensive city. In Saratoga Springs, you can get custom homes that are worth $1 million just like you can in Lehi. Now over here we have in Saratoga Springs, which is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you have the temple. Now Lehi is scheduled to get a temple as well. Now Saratoga Springs has many different areas. The Redwood Road that goes all the way to Salt Lake City is what divides the different sides of cities. Also the lake views. So in Saratoga Springs, you can get $1 million homes over by the lake as well, or you can get the homes that we just showcased to you, the townhouses, condos, and single family homes. Saratoga Springs is definitely known a lot more for its family oriented areas. So the next spot we're going to be going to is areas of movie, arcade, and bowling all in one. Definitely a family oriented area that you want to be visiting, just like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints showcases that families are important here in Saratoga Springs. Well guys, I'm gonna head into Fat Cats and have some fun with the movies, the bowling, and the arcade that is here for the Saratoga Springs. That's a wrap for us, you guys. You tell me in the comments below what city you would pick between Lehi or Saratoga. And if you wanna meet or get together or do a via meeting, make sure you click the link below to talk to me. And guys, I'll see you in my next video and helping you understand the best places to live here in Utah County. See you guys next time.